Hello there, YouTube. This is Sibbles and Mids back at it again with Aces and Adventures. Month of Aces and Adventures is over, but we just got an interesting new update, and I thought that I might as well cover that. There's also another video that I would like to do, which is basically me, like, pretty much like a Steam review on video about, who Aces and Adventures is for, and whether or not you may or may not enjoy the game. But I'll try and squeeze that in sometime within either the rest of this month or next month, but that's besides the point. Today we're here because we have a new mode that just got released, Invernal Spiral, and this one is going to be... Well, first off, we'll go ahead and we'll jump into fall, and we'll play with, sure, let's try Magnor, why not? So, in Invernal Spiral, you start with a very set deck, which is obviously nowhere near 30 cards, so that's a little bit of an advantage and, well, a disadvantage because you can't do anything with it. But your starter deck across the course of the game is going to get upgraded, have cards added to it, remove cards, very similar to what you'd see in a game like Slay the Spire. And another thing that I think is interesting, I don't know how it's unlocked because obviously I've done everything in this game at this point, or like what cards are available to you, or if you have access to all cards in this mode. But it's very interesting because if you are just looking for, like, a raw, like, roguelike deck builder, which the game was tagged with originally, but it wasn't really that much of a, like, roguelike maybe, but not really a deck builder. If you're looking for something like that, and you can get past, the poker deck aesthetic, or, like, not aesthetic, but the whole mechanics of the poker deck and all that, this seems like a very good mode that you can jump into, like, relatively soon. Like, all you need to do is unlock the characters, they start with a starting deck, and you don't have to, like, worry about, like, collecting all the cards to make a deck. Anyways. And you still get decent experience from it. It just takes pretty long. The reason why we went in fall is because I'd hoped that this is not an hour-long video, and I honestly get bopped along the way, but we'll see what happens. I like having two pairs in hand, actually. I think we're going to go with Shield Bearer. We might as well give ourselves some option of surviving here. And so, the beginning of the experience looks a lot like, War of the Branches? Which, it's very constrained and such. But, like, later you get these very exclusive branches, which are going to give you specific things. And you'll go up against a total of 3 bosses. We can hover over these now. I don't know if this is in War of Branches, but you can see exactly which bosses that you're facing, which is good because obviously here, if black cards deal -1 combat damage and you come across an event that gets rid of all your red cards, maybe you should consider not doing that, which is why we're checking these here. Okay. Well, after looking at all that and seeing the things that we need to make sure that we can hit, don't really have much else to do. They do give you sort of a whale bonus here with these seeds, which are one-time consumables, but they do something, right? 10 damage to a single enemy, 5 damage to all enemies, a free revive. All these things are very useful. I'm hoping that I don't have to use them. But let's go ahead and take the burst damage just in case we need it. They added a whole ton of new enemies, items, ability cards to the game with this update, as you can see with this badger, which we have never seen before. That is a little bit embarrassing.
I've got more shields where that came from.
Don't use that.
Shield at the ready.
I didn't want to use my wild card that early. Shame we didn't have revenge as well. I think we're gonna just use a 3 of a kind here, deal some damage.
Take your best shots.
Okay, that seems pretty good. That does not seem pretty good. We're gonna take another 2 here, but we have shields, so I'm kind of alright with that. Just go ahead and throw out any 2 cards revenge to kill. Add an ability to our deck. Phantom Limb +1. I could get behind that. I don't think it's as good as Phantom Limb regular, but it's something. Riposte might also be interesting. Especially since we have shields, this might deal more damage than we normally would. We could play a very defensive game. We'll take that and try that out. I guess we're going to take 3 abilities. Another thing that I've noticed in this mode is that whenever you add a card, it goes onto the top of your ability deck. That might determine like some cards that you pick. Oh, we got this guy. Wild Ward is a new ability that has really been hard countering me since I'm all about stuff like Wild Range and Suits, especially being, I would say, probably something along the lines of a Layla main. But yeah, just running into one of these guys and having like your diamonds deal no damage or something like that is quite significant.
Hold your shield high.
All right.
I've got more shields where that came from.
Draw 3 abilities whenever you lose a shield. It's quite potent, especially with a small deck like we have. We'll take that. Remove an ability from your deck. I definitely think that we can do something along the lines of that. But we can also remove an ability here, so is a card shrine potentially better in upgrading an ability and overdrawing 3 abilities? Going this way would allow us to get this event. Going this way would allow us to get an event, an upgrade, add an ability, remove an ability. And then we can sort of go into either a short rest here, or if we don't want these, we can go into remove up to 5 abilities from your deck, which sounds kind of crazy. I'm almost about it, to be honest. We could also get a level if we go this way. Levels are actually kind of hard to come by in this mode, because they don't just give you... Well, okay, this one does, but you don't necessarily just get them after bosses, it seems. I don't know, I kind of like the idea of removing 5 abilities, especially if we have to add some along the way here. Trimming down our deck to where it's only like shield synergy seems pretty good. So I think we're going to go down this middle path. Select 1 ability to remove. I think we still need Revenge right now. I think Intimidate is still pretty good. Maybe getting rid of Chop. So, since you guys are probably here because you're interested in Aces and Adventures and the new update, just sort of something for you guys to talk about down in the comments below. How have you been enjoying Aces and Adventures, and how has the game been able to, how do I say it, over time, how has it been for you?
I can't use that right
Oh,
now.
we're defending. We're defending and we're getting bopped. Okay.
Hey, back. It's my turn. I've got more shields where that came from. Hold your shield high. Shield at the ready.
Our deck is absolutely terrible right now.
I've got more shields where that came from. You'd better not dull my axe. Come and get it. Payback! Thrust the axe!
There we go. That's something we can use.
Shield at the ready. I've got more shields where that came from.
Okay, I think we're gonna have to pull apart this straight at this point. You can have that. Then I'll just intimidate you.
Payback! Payback!
Alright, so Aces and Adventures, sort of to answer the question that I just asked, it's been pretty good. I definitely enjoy the game. I don't get as much time to play it as I would like because I have other projects going on, and generally speaking, while you can get a run done in about 20 minutes, it still takes like a lot of time, especially if you're still not at the point to where you can just like look at this map and know exactly where you're going, or like an enemy pops up, you look at your hand and you can see, okay, this is the best line to take. I don't always have the time to dedicate like how many cards are in my deck. And while they did make it so that you can see what your last hand was, and like, I guess we can't see everything that's in our discard, which is interesting. I thought that we could. Maybe we have to be in combat. Anyways, they made it so that you can look at a whole bunch of things and added a little bit more quality of life, but it's not still quite at the point to where it's very easy to navigate, and so you have to dedicate a lot of brain power to knowing, okay, well, I have this many aces in my deck, or the enemy has this many aces in their deck, so is it smart or not in order to attack right now, or like when they're down to 3 cards. Last time I played, they were down to 3 cards. I could literally look at their deck, and if I wanted to, I could take 20 minutes to piece apart out of the discard pile like what their hand was, and then know if it was safe or not to attack them. Don't make it that esoteric. Just allow me to see what's left in their deck. Like, there's no purpose. Like, that's just a barrier for the game that, in my opinion, shouldn't exist. Like, we'll sort of show what I'm talking about here. So I can't grab like their deck, but if I grab, I thought that I could. Okay, maybe I can't at all. I'm pretty sure we used to be able to grab all of this. We can definitely grab. Oh, now the game's just determined to make me a liar. Oh, is it clicking? Okay, so this is showing all cards in my 54 card deck because we have 2 jokers, and everything else is unmodified, which doesn't really help me right now to know what's in my deck, but I could draw all of this, and it's not sorted for whatever reason. So I could look through this and be like, okay, so I've used one joker. I have 2 kings spent. 1 king is in my hand, which means that if I ever had to top deck, there's probably like, I don't know, 3 kings in here. But it won't just go ahead and let me know that. And I can look at the enemy discard pile and sort of do the same for them, but there really shouldn't be that extra step in my opinion, and I think that's one of the pieces of quality of life that just needs to get implemented. The other thing that I want thereafter then, if possible, because I understand, because I was originally going to try and make an Excel spreadsheet that would take a look at, your hand, the enemy's remaining cards in their deck, and how many hands that they could potentially draw to beat yours, but even then you don't know the odds, because that's dependent upon so many factors, up to including their offense and your defense, because if they only have one hand that can beat you and there's 6 cards in their deck, but they're drawing 6 cards, then they're definitely going to beat you.
Shield at the ready. Better not dull my axe. I'm ready for anything. Thrust the axe. I've got more shields where that came from. Better not dull my axe. Hold your shield high! Do your worst. Payback! It's my turn. Hold your shield high! I've got more shields where that came from! I'm ready for anything! Shield at the ready! Come get it. I just came up with a new move. You better not dull my axe. Ha! Vengeance is mine. Bring it on. Thrust the axe. I've got more shields where that came from. I'll eat anything. Payback! It's my turn. You better not dull my axe. It's my turn. I've got more shields where that came from. Come and get it. Thrust the axe. Vengeance is mine! Shield at the ready. I've got more shields where that came from. Take your best shot. Ha! Payback! Better not dull my axe. Frank's got a good crunch. I've got more shields where that came from. Do your worst. Payback! Thrust the axe! Vengeance! I've got more shields where that came from. Hold your shield high. I'll eat anything. I'm ready for anything. Hey, back. Shield at the ready. Take your best shots. Thrust the axe. Ah. You better not dull my axe. Bring it on. I've got more shields where that came from. It's my turn. I've got more shields where that came from. Do your worst. Hold your shield high. Mike's got a good plan. Come and get it. Hold your shield high. Bring it on. Better not dull my axe. Payback! Vengeance! Thrust the axe! Friend's got a good crunch! I've got more shields where that came from! Come and get it!
Yeah, that one was a bit misfortunate. I think that the aura spell reflect, I wasn't quite, like, I saw it, but then I thought that certain aspects of my character didn't count as spell damage. And then I forgot that it was an aura, so that was a rough boss. But hey, the video ended up being about 40 minutes, which is around where I wanted it to be. If it was going to fully play out, it probably would have been significantly longer, but that said, yes, I am greatly enjoying the new mode, and I think that for those of you who might have, felt like the game was a bit too collectible card gamey, it's a good way to get into the game once you've unlocked all the characters. Again, I don't know if you have to beat story mode before you get it, because that would kind of make sense considering that you're going up against things in story mode, but War of the Branches was available right away too. But in that as well, you had to like construct your own decks, and you don't really start out with like a lot of cards. The base decks do just fine in the earlier difficulties, but this one you can actually go all the way up to winter difficulty just by playing it by itself, which is quite interesting because it has its own progression, which makes sense because it has its own meta progression as well. That said, it's more run progression and not meta progression. Anyways, hopefully it was still very enjoyable for you guys. If you have any questions about the new mode or about Ace's Adventures or anything like that, be sure to leave that down in the comments below, as well as any other feedback you might have, be it comments, questions, concerns, misplay alerts. And until next time, I will catch you guys around.